everyone, today I'm going to show you how to crochet this butterfly puff stitch beanie hat. I have put the list of materials needed in the description below along with some other helpful links. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're going to begin by making our starting loop, and then you can just go ahead and get that on your hook, and we'll do a chain of 10. So you're going to yarn over your hook, pull it right through your loop. Yarn over, pull through your loop, yarn over, and you're just going to keep on going until you get to a chain of 10. So right now what we're working on with this starting chain, this will determine the height of the cuff of our hat, the brim rather. Okay, so keep going till you get to 10, and now we're going to work in the second chain from our hook. We're going to do a single crochet. So you're just going to push your hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through your loops on your hook. I'll slow that one down. Push your hook through the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. Push your hook through, yarn over, pull up, pull through those two. So single crochet stitch. And we're just, so as I said, starting in the second chain from your hook, you're working a single crochet into every chain down the row. So go ahead and work your chains to the very end. And if any of this is going too fast, please see links in the description below for my stitch tutorials. I do have some slowed down stitch tutorials that focus just on particular stitches. So if there's any of them in this pattern that you have a hard time with, go ahead and check those out. All right, at the end, chain 1, turn your work. Now we're going to work in the back loop of our work. So in the back loop, we're going to single crochet. So you're going to continue on working single crochet stitches, but only in the back loop now. This is what gives us that ribbing effect. So instead of pushing your hook through the stitch, you're going to push your hook over the top of your work and down into the back loop of your stitch. And you're just going to work one single crochet into every back loop down the row. You should have a total of 9 stitches because at the beginning we started in our second chain from the hook with our starting row there. See that ribbing? So back loop single crochets. Chain 1, turn your work. And you're just going to repeat that again, working back loop single crochets into every single stitch. At the end of your row, you'll chain 1 and you'll turn your work. And you're just going to keep on doing this for a total, let me see here, until you get to 21 inches is how long it should be, or for a total of 50 rows of back loop single crochets. Okay, that's including the row that we just worked. So 50 rows of back loop single crochets and then come back. Okay, so now that you've finished those rows, you're going to fold your work in half, lining up the short ends, and we're going to work through both sides together to close this up and create a seam. So push your hook through that first stitch, and then right through the other stitch lined up with it on the other side. Yarn over and pull right through your loops. That's a slip stitch. And you're going to do the same thing in every stitch all the way down. So we're just going to work slip stitches into every single stitch, being careful to work through both sides so that we're closing this now and creating our seam. I love this yarn so much, but to be honest, I mean, it can split easily, so just be careful and take your time. It can be a little bit tricky. Okay, now when you get to the end, you're just going to chain 1. And I'm grabbing my stitch marker. It's not required for the pattern, but it's definitely recommended. I just think it's a really nice, easy way to find that chain 1 at the beginning of your round. So now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet evenly all the way around. And it's a little bit tricky when you're doing this step because you're not actually working into stitches, because technically we're working along the side of our work that we just did, right? All those rows. So right now we're working along the side. So just do your best to make sure that you're doing it evenly. Lining up your stitches with the rows is really the easiest way to keep track of where you should be. So by the end of this round, you should have 49 stitches. So go ahead and continue around. When you get back to the start, come back. All right, so now here we are back at the beginning, and we're going to close our round with a slip stitch into that chain one space. And we're going to chain one, move your stitch marker up to your new chain one. Okay, so for this next round, we're going to single crochet twice in the first stitch, once into each of the next 6. So going into that first stitch, we're going to work a single crochet, just the same way that we've been doing. So one single crochet in the first stitch, and going right back in that same stitch, we're going to do another single crochet. Now we're going to work one single crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're going to work 2 single crochets in that next one. So one, and then right back in it another. And you're just going to keep doing this all the way around. So you're working 1 single crochet in each of the next 6, and then 2 in the following. 1 in each of the next 6, 2 in the following. All right, so we're just slightly increasing our stitch count here. By the end of this round, you should have a total of 56 stitches. So go ahead and keep on working all the way around, alternating. When you get back to the beginning of your round, you're going to close with a slip stitch in your chain one and come back. Okay, so here we are back at the beginning. Don't forget that your work is inside out, so flip it around. I've already done my close with a slip stitch in my chain one there. We don't want the seam on the outside of our work, and we need to be working the right side right now for this next step. Okay, so go ahead and grab your stitch marker, get it into your chain one, and then we're going to half double crochet in each of the first 7 stitches. So for a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, push your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Let me slow that down a little bit. So here's another half double crochet in the next stitch. Yarn over, push your hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. All right, so we're working 1 half double crochet in each of the first 7 stitches. All right, now in this next one, we're going to work a butterfly puff stitch. So yarn over, push your hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, push your hook through the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. We're doing that 4 times in total. So this is the 3rd and the 4th time. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops on our hook, chain 1, and do it again in the same stitch. Yarn over, push through, pull up a loop. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. It can be a little bit tricky, so you might have to wiggle it. You might have to pull it out and do it again, which is what I'm going to have to do. I did it a little bit too tight. Yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull up a loop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, pull through all right. Now we're going to half double crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. And another butterfly puff stitch. yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull up. One more time, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through all those loops, chain one, and do it again. Yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull up. 3, one more time, 4, yarn over, pull through all the loops. Why do I struggle so much on the second one? I don't know. All right, half double crochet into each of the next 7. And you're just going to keep on going, repeating this all the way around. When you get back to the start, come back and I'll show you what we'll do next. All right, so for this next round, we're going to do the same thing again. We're actually going to be working this exact same round a total of 6 times. So we have to do, 7 times. So we're doing it 6 more times. Right now I'm working my half double crochet in each of the first 7 stitches. I just want to show you how we're going to work the butterfly puff stitch over a butterfly puff stitch from the previous row or round. Okay, so here we are with my 7th half double crochet. And now I got to do a butterfly puff stitch. So working around the chain 1 space in the middle of that butterfly puff stitch, we're going to do another just around the chain. You don't have to go through it. Okay, so I'm just showing you how that's going to look. One more time. Yarn over, pull through all of the loops. Chain 1 and do it again around that same chain. And this is where it really starts to take shape. I love this butterfly puff stitch. It's so pretty. All right, so you see how that looks? And then we're just going to continue on. You're going to continue with your half double crochet in each of the next 7, butterfly puff stitch. Keep on going until you have a total of 7 rounds of that include a butterfly puff stitch. So even though this one has half double crochets and butterfly puff stitch, we'll call it a butterfly puff stitch round. So you want to make sure that you have a total of 7 of these rounds. Okay, so here we are, and now you're just going to repeat for this butterfly puff stitch same way we just did this one, and keep on going till you have your total of 7 rounds. Close every round with a slip stitch and start every round with a chain 1. All right, and when you finish those rounds, come on back and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so now we're back. We finished all those rounds. We're going to do a little bit of decrease. So we're going to work a half double crochet into the first stitch, just a regular half double crochet into that first stitch there. And now we're going to half double crochet decrease. Okay, we're going to take these 2 stitches and turn them into 1. So yarn over, push your hook through that second stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, hold on to it, push your hook right into the next stitch beside it. Yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull right through all 4 loops. So now you've taken those 2 stitches and turned them into 1. So half double crochet decrease. Then you're going to half double crochet into the next stitch, just a regular half double crochet. Then we're going to half double crochet decrease again. So yarn over, push your hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop, hold on to it. Push your hook into the very next stitch beside it, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. And we're going to finish with a regular half double crochet. And then you're going to do your regular puff stitch, the butterfly puff stitch, how you have been doing it. And you're just going to repeat this all the way around with your decreases, okay? And then when you get to the start, come on back. All right, so now we're going to start with a half double crochet decrease. And then a regular half double crochet in that next stitch. And another half double crochet decrease. And then your butterfly puff stitch. And you're just going to keep repeating this all the way around. Close with your slip stitch, chain 1, and come back. All right, so now for this next round, we're just working a regular half double crochet into every single stitch all the way around. And when you get to that butterfly puff stitch, you're going to work your regular half double crochet around the chain 1 space that's between the 2 little puffs. All right. And then just continue on. So you're going to continue working regular half double crochets into every stitch all the way around, including working over those chain 1 spaces between in the all of your butterfly puff stitches. And of course, when you get back to the beginning of your round, you're going to close with a slip stitch, chain 1, and come back. All right, so for this next round, we're just repeating the same thing we did for the last round, just 1 regular half double crochet stitch into every single stitch all the way around. So go ahead and work your half double crochet into every single stitch all the way around. Of course, when you get back to the beginning of your round, you're going to close with a slip stitch into your chain 1 space, chain 1, and then come back and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now we're going to single crochet decrease all the way around. So push your hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch beside it, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. So you're just going to keep on going with a single crochet decrease all the way around. We're just completely closing up the opening here so that we can close the hat nicely without losing the shape. All right, so go ahead and just keep on working your single crochet decreases all the way around. When you get back to the start, come back. Okay, so here we are at the beginning. Just pull up a bit of yarn through to have a long tail end. You need a pretty long one because we're going to close it up. So fasten off, pull the rest of that bit through. And you're going to get it onto your yarn needle. And we're going to use this tail end to close up the top of our hat and to add the pom-pom. Okay, so go ahead and just weave your yarn needle in and out of every single stitch all the way around, because this is going to allow us to just pull it at the end and close that opening at the top. All right, so weave it in and out of every single stitch all the way around. Okay, pull it to close the opening. Okay. And now you just want to see this little opening right here is what we want to close up. It's still not completely closed. So give it a tug and then push your yarn needle across where that opening is. And just really reinforce the securing it, so keeping it close. So go ahead and push your hook in and out a few times to weave your tail end through, and make sure that you tie a knot to keep it secure. And don't fasten off yet because, like I said, we're going to use this same tail end to attach our pom-pom. This is the pom-pom that I'm using. I'm not sure what one you might have, or if you have any yet, but there's a little loop in here. And it just makes it so much easier to attach. I've included a link in the description below if you wanted to order the same pom-poms that I have. But just push your hook, or sorry, your yarn needle through that little loop. So it goes right down to the top of the hat there. And we're just gonna push the yarn needle in and out of the top of our hat, connecting it to that loop a few times because we want it to be really secure. All right, so you're just going to keep on going and doing that just a few times until you feel happy with how secure it is. And then you can fasten off your tail end on the inside of your hat, of course, because you don't want that little piece sticking out. And then you're done. I hope that you've enjoyed this pattern. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the helpful links in the description below.